which this new world order where women will be fully empowered, and there will be gender equity, would be facilitated by networks. We have a lot to share. We have a lot to learn from you and from Africa, from the Middle East, and we can also make our own contribution. There are many, many networks of women that are also involved in this issue in my part of the world. They're into all kinds of policy advocacies that are important for empowering women and promoting gender equality. Also, because of the increasing use of information and communication technology, it's so easy to find out what's going on in the rest of the world. For instance, studies that we have heard a lot of statistics around, this morning and also this afternoon. I don't think I need to repeat them, except for those that have not yet been brought to fore. For example, the presence of senior female women executives in companies will bring about more profit, at the same time innovation. You talked about innovation, Sedef.
It's a different look, yes.
Yeah, women are innovators because we have to make do with very little. We have a lot of constraints in which we work, and therefore we know how to sort of weave our way into weave our way into something that's positive. And I think it's only fair and just that women who constitute, I think, over 50% of the global population, to have a voice in the governance of a new world order, where
do you also believe that social media will also make a difference in terms of having women's voice being heard locally and globally?
Indeed.
This changing technology?
Indeed, Sedef, because social media is very powerful. We know that the traditional media can be constrained sometimes because of ownership, and also
the
because
mainstream media is not a help anymore.
No,
in
no.
many countries, the mainstream media is not considered as a media. I mean,
yes,
the real media mostly is like the real news is you follow through.
Yeah,
the
part of the
social
problem
media.
is the ownership and also the need to survive in an increasingly becoming complicated environment. So social media will play a very, very important role, especially because we have younger and younger population coming into the fore. So the aspiration of the song that was shared with us in the morning, Imagine, a world where we are one, I think it's going to come, whether we like it or not. And I think it's better that we get together, we have solidarity, we have to work with each other, including, and particularly the men, because we are complementary. When people ask me, for example, what makes you the way you are? I said, well, I happen to have married a liberated man. So I think the future is going to be bright.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Let's have some questions from our audience. I mean, we have a very international group here, and we receive different perspectives from different parts of the world. So I believe you will have some questions to our dear guests. Let's proceed with the questions. How many minutes we have left? Right, so far? Okay. 15 to 20 minutes, maybe. Any questions? You see, women hardly raise their hands. Make yourself outspoken, please. Yeah, maybe we just discuss issues very locally. Let's have a global perspective. Anything that you wonder from about concerning the different parts of the world? Any parallelisms or contrast? Yes, finally we have a question. Can we have an applause for her for this courage?
I just want to raise a question, an issue. We talk about women talking to women, but we're talking always to the converted. And I
Could
think...
we have it again, please?
What I said was, a lot of the...
Where are you from?
I'm sorry, I'm Michaela Bergman. I'm from the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and I'm based in London.
Okay. And your name?
Michaela Bergman.
Okay.
Okay, so my question to all of the panelists, and I found it a very interesting panel, is that we talk about, women talking about their issues, but we're always talking to other women. And how, don't we really have to start the engagement with men, and how do we do it? It's all very well, I've been to quite a lot of these meetings, and we're all, we know what the issues are, but I think it's the men that we have to talk to.
Well, we'd rather have the men first, huh? Even look at the crowd. I mean, we are talking about working together, men and women, but we are making these discussions only with women, and that's the problem. We should also have men involved in such discussions, Gülden Hanım, for the next time. Okay, so let's talk the men. How would you talk about the men? Maybe globally, maybe locally, from your country's perspective. Yes, Carolina?
Yeah, the time was short, but I want to thank you for your question. Because the time was short, I cannot tell you everything that I am. But I do work with a group of think tanks in Southeast Asia. And most of the think tanks, if not all of them, are managed or run by men. So a few years ago, when human rights was a topic that was not sexy or something that was a dirty word in Southeast Asia, I sort of like developed the courage to tell my men counterparts in the think tanks in Southeast Asia called ASEAN Institutes of Strategic and International Studies to let us have a colloquium on human rights. And they look at me like I'm crazy, which probably I was. And I said, look, just one off. I want to level off on human rights because we are a region, we are part of ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and we want to promote, we are being sort of like chided and criticized and put on the block by Europeans, by Americans, by Canadians, because we don't know what human rights are. So let's level off. Let's try to understand where each one of us is coming from, each country is coming from. And I said, if it does not succeed in 1 year, we'll shut it down. Well, it's going to celebrate its 20th year next year. Okay, so those things, yeah, we speak to the non-converted because if we don't, this is what transformational leadership is about. You have to be inclusive, and you have to include especially those that are not of like mind. It's not going to be very easy, but it can be done, and I think it's the only way. And thank you for raising that question because it provided me with an opportunity to share further. Thank you.
Are they collaborative, for example, another aspect to enrich in the question just asked, like when you ask or demand their collaboration, are they willing to collaborate with women in the business life or in political life or the social life? Yes.
To tell to men that we are not in competition. That is the most problem. When you are in business or in company or in a situation with a man, they are always thinking that we try to steal their place.
That's right.
That is a problem. No, we are not in competition with you. We just do as well as what we can. You just have to do what you can, and we too. But men always think that you are in competition. And if you
so
do...
in a way, they feel threatened?
Sorry?
They feel threatened?
Yeah, yes. I think that it's important for men to know that women just try to express themselves. We just want to show what we can do and what we are. The basic problem for me, fundamental problem of men, is that traditionally things are changing. Traditionally they have a role. they have to succeed in their job, and then have to take care about their family. And women have to be there, and they show us their power, their success, and give us money for the family. Now things is changing. Women always have this role. They keep it, they like it, but they have a new role in society. They study as them, and they have job, and they succeed in business and everything. And in the family, men come with money, but we put our money. And this is, for me, it's great, because we have better quality life in the house.
But they're not used to that.
But they don't understand that. Yeah. They think that if we come with our money, we leave all our other roles, and we are in competition with them. For me, the fundamental problem is this. No, we don't want to take your place. We never want to be men. We are women, and we really like to be women. We want to do what we have to do, and to succeed in everything, because they try to show us that we are not as intelligent as them, and doing some jobs, or some other job traditionally men have to do. No, I think that you have to try to be complementary, as she said. Exactly. We are complementary, really. For me, the message to men is this: we are not in competition with you. We are your wife.
We just want to be a team, actually.
No, not at all. We just want you to let us express ourselves.
Yes, Ella? Yes, sure.
Very important point to make. And similar to all the changes that happened in society, legislation has a very important role to play. Governments, heads of governments, and parliamentarians have a very important role to play. Education wouldn't have been widespread if it was not compulsory at the beginning. Women voting would not have happened if there was no legislation for that. I believe it's equally important and has the same kind of dynamics of a human reaction to being involved. A lot of the involvement, the lack of involvement, if you like, is because of women. It's not just because men are refusing to involve women. Women, I mean, you're almost like an activist when you push your way through. You never say the same for a man who's trying to push himself through. And that is because we still have an important legislation to incubate women and prepare them to be a lot more active in all representations. And I believe that, considering the realities that are looming in terms of the rapid depletion of world resources and the importance of creative solutions, which the combination of men and women together on the table will bring different views, is going to hopefully bring us to the point where governments realize we have to include them by legislation and encourage.
Gloria, do you have anything to add? Any comments?
Yeah, I think, together with everybody, what they have added, as long as we have more fora where we can express ourselves, let it be the few parliamentarians in parliament to try and push the bills that will push women further. For example, in Uganda, they are trying to table a bill called the domestic bill. The domestic bill is about ownership of property. Years ago, a woman would hardly be an heir to their father because women do not own land, and land is the most valuable asset in Uganda, customarily. So now we are pushing, the bill will be passed anytime, that a woman has equal stake like their siblings. If you're divorcing, you have a right to 50%. That wasn't the case. So you can find that with this kind of legislation, like she said, going through parliament and having forums like this to speak our minds, and also the media.
Yes.
The media, if used in the right way, can push us a very long way. Rather than portraying women as just someone to support a man, we can be portrayed as companions to work together, to walk together. Like Amy said, we are not interested in the role of taking over their role because we cannot physically and otherwise, but we can be left to shine in our own little box and do what we do best. And I guess that is what most women are looking for. So as long as we continue to talk without being extreme in whatever we try to push for.
Yeah, because if they're considered to be extremes, they're
Yes.
put in the category of being marginals, and it's so easy to get
So it becomes
moved aside,
war.
yes.
Exactly. As long as we can talk, communicate, and understand one another, the future is very bright.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Arzu ederseniz soruları Türkçe'de sorabilirsiniz. Ama yeter ki soru soralım. Türkçe, İngilizce fark etmez. Evet, Defne Hanım, buyurun.
In addition to Ms. Bergman's question and what our panel had to say about it, I would like to ask my question to the only man who's been the most active listener since early this morning, the man on the floor, Mr. Colin Dudkop.
He's the only man?
Yes, the only man, the most active listener here. So, given your interest in women's issues, what do you recommend us to do in order to get that kind of attention, in order to make ourselves heard, so that we can draw
You
men
see,
in?
that now he regrets that he's the one who's been listening.
Scapegoat.
Yes, thank you very much. As the male activist in this round, my recommendation is, it has already been mentioned, I think to change the situation, the most important thing is that the mothers really raise their males, their boys, in such a way that they will really respect the role, the importance of the women, as we are talking about the whole morning and the whole afternoon. This, I think, is really the key, because this will work as a snowballing effect. If every mother raises their children in such a way, the girls and the boys, and that the girls are equal and equally important, I think this will make the difference. So this is my recommendation, and also the recommendations of my wife. And she has really raised her children in that way. Our boys, actually, they always thought from their childhood that the girls are the stronger ones. Really, yeah. I think this will make a big difference.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? Başka sorular? Evet hanımlar, konuşun, görüşlerinizi paylaşın, sorularınızı sorun. Ondan sonra bizi konuşturmuyorlar, sorularımızı soramıyoruz, kendimizi ifade edemiyoruz diyorsunuz. Buyurun lütfen, arkada bir soru var. Evet.
Okay, my name is Miller Kramer. I wanted to ask a question. In most of our countries, some of our population is poor, where women are not given equal chance for progress, for advancement. How do you think we should reach out to these people in order to empower them? Well,
Because could you just repeat it a little slowly, please, so we can get it?
Sure. Okay, I said in most of our countries, some of our population is poor, where women is not given equal chance for progress, for improving themselves. So what do you suggest to reach out to these people to empower them?
Okay. Especially for the rural parts.
Yes, exactly.
Where there is poverty.
Yes.
So the women case is even a problematic one.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any suggestions concerning especially the rural parts of the countries, like in villages and so on?
Rural Egypt.
Just the
at
mic,
least.
just make
And
sure that
in
you're using the
rural
mic.
Egypt, the majority bread earners are women, actually. So it is not so much empowerment at the domestic level, but elevation of poverty, which applies to both men and women, really. Yeah,
so we should rather first deal with the poverty.
and
Is
the
this your
problem-
suggestion?
The poorer the family is, the more empowered the women within their own families, because in most cases they are the bread earners. And maybe they have domestic violence problems, but they are actually the bread earners in the poorer parts and the rural parts of Egypt. And the problem in those areas are mostly addressing domestic violence, which is quite often the case, and elevation of poverty throughout. In other words, it's very hard to empower, and poverty is there, you know. Poverty is a condition that overrules any other consideration. They just have to eat at the end
Like
of
the
the
health
day.
problems in most part of Africa, right?
Same problem. I think that women association and NGOs and all organizations know that problem and understand that problem, that if we don't help the poorest and vulnerable population to have access to education first and to have access to health, we can't empower women in these areas. So I think most of the programs in my country and in Africa are touching these areas, population and women, to help them, to empower them. But the first thing is to educate them and take care of their health.
Evet, buyurun lütfen.
What is the impact of the NGOs? If you could comment briefly on the impact of NGOs working briefly in your countries regarding the gender issues. Are there a lot of NGOs working? Is there a synergy among them? Has they been very influential in the progress that you had regarding the equality, regarding the gender issues?
NGOs.
Thank you.
Yes, Gloria.
Thank you for that question. Yes, in Uganda in particular, we have very many NGOs working for the minorities. In this case, minorities being both women and children. Those that are only for the women issues are very successful in that women are willing to learn, that is one, and women are the breadwinners, like Hala said, of the majority of the population, which is living in the rural areas. For example, in Uganda, 65–70% of the population lives in the rural areas, and of those, maybe 60%, the bread earners are mainly the women. Now, most of these NGOs have set camp in those areas and are teaching them different kinds of things, for example, weaving and knitting, but most important, trying to provide microfinancing for their small projects. Women are better at keeping money, in my opinion. And these small groups of people that come together to help these women use their hands and, you know, small skills have come such a long way that they are making a big impact, one on our GDP, because they earn a little money, they come together, some of these things are exported, so they earn some little forex. But most importantly, they provide some financing and they give them hope that actually you can do something with your life. As long as you can provide someone with hope, I think the rest is up to them.
Egypt, we have an SME, which is an NGO that extends microfinance, and it's mostly by nature of the society extended to women, and default is less than 0.01%. So it has, and we need to increase that. Yeah.
NGOs are working in rural areas, and they try to give them microfinance so that they have something to do and they have money back, and they fight against poverty with this kind of finance. And
Yeah, I think microfinancing is really making a difference
Yes.
in small-scale businesses, and these are the businesses mostly women
yes.
are taking the responsibility, like knitting, as you say, like carpeting or jewelry design, whatever. Yes, Carolina.
Also say that the situation is similar in the Philippines, in that NGOs that would like to see women empowered and women capacitated to improve themselves are also involved in assisting in microfinancing, but at the same time, awareness raising about the importance of gender equity, at the same time that they also link up among themselves inside the country and with others in the region. So for example, the work of NGOs that are promoting the advocacy for women and children had a very important role in the establishment of the ASEAN Commission for Women and Children, because these are the only two conventions on protecting the women and the children, and also human rights in general, that all the 10 ASEAN member countries ratified. So we have now a commission working for the rights of women and children in ASEAN. And they, by the way, the commission is run by women from the 10 countries of Southeast Asia. Yeah.
Like the president
Hala, use
or
the
the
mic,
prime,
please.
I'm sorry. To your point, you know, no matter how active the NGOs are, without the embracement from the top, the very top, the president or the prime minister, it's just a marginal activity, you know. Yeah.
Evet, tamamlıyoruz. Başka? Evet, beyefendiden sonra last question.
Herkese merhaba. İsmim Ahmet İlbars, maden mühendisiyim. Emekli olmamak için direniyorum. Yüksek lisans yapmak üzere 58 yaşında bir aydır Çorum'dan kalkıp İstanbul'da yaşamaya başladım oğlumun yanında. Sabahleyin ben dijital fuarına gidiyor iken yanlışlıkla buraya geldiğim için ve konu da ilgimi çektiği için paraya da kıydım ve buraya katıldım. Şimdi
İsminiz neydi pardon?
Ahmet İlbars.
Ahmet Bey, bir alkış verin.
Şimdi efendim bu kadar...
Yani yolunuzdan saptırdık sizi
Vallahi
yani.
yolunuzdan saptırdınız. Tabii içimde demek ki size bir empatim var ki buraya saptım. Sizinle şunu paylaşmak isterim. Ben 1977 İTÜ'den mezunum. Fakat 77 yılından sonra bütün hayatım taşrada geçti. Yani yaşadığım kent Çorum'da geçti. Ve mesleğimi de çok uzun süre yapmadım. 25 sene ticaretle uğraştım. Tabii kentin merkezinde ve yerlisi olarak yaşadığım için lokal olarak bir taşra şehrinde ne gibi kültürel ve sosyal ekonomik değişiklikler olduğunun da analizini meraklı olduğum için hep yaparım ve yapmayı da devam ettiriyorum. Şimdi burada çok elit bir grubun üst kentli kültürüyle bu meseleleri ele alışları tabii çok güzel. Yalnız işin bir de taşra boyutu var kendi ülkemizden baktığımızda. Biraz okumayı sevdiğim için Bozkurt Güvenç Hoca'ya bir refere ederek bir şey söylemek istiyorum. Onun çok sevdiğim bir kültürle ilgili kitapçığı var, ABC Kültür diye. Orada öğrendiğim ve dostlarımla paylaştığım şu kavramı sizlerle de paylaşmak isterim. Diyor ki Bozkurt Hoca, kültürleniriz. Yani kültürleme olur. Okula gideriz, işte belli toplum içinde yaşarken. Daha sonra kültürleme olur. Daha sonra kültürlenme olur. Daha başka gruplara gidersiniz, kültürlenirsiniz. Bugünkü dünyada da artık kültürleşiyoruz. Küresel açıdan baktığımız zaman sınırlar da kalktı. Fakat Taşra'nın hala şöyle bir sorunu var. Bilmiyorum, benim gibi kentlerden gelen arkadaşlar var mı? Benim eşim bana aşık olduğu için Çalışma Bakanlığı'ndaki iş müfettişliğini terk etti ve 28 senedir Çorum'da yaşamayı istedi. Burada yabancı kadınların sunumu gibi bir şeye anlam vererek geldi. Yani bir şeyin anlamlı olması çok önemli. Bir insanı sevmek, bir şeyi büyütmek, yüceltmek ve Ankara'daki konforunu bırakıp benimle yaşamaya Çorum'a gelmesi bir anlamdı. Ben bu paralelliği sağlamak için söylüyorum. Bu anlam meselesini ben de çok sevdim. Bunu yazacağım. Yani yerel gazetede yazacağım. Bu toplantıyı da yazacağım.
Peki son olarak bir toparlamayla isterseniz bir mesajınız varsa yurt dışından gelen konuşmacılarımıza onu alalım.
Bozkurt Hoca'nın ikinci söylediği yani kültürlenme meselesinde Taşra'nın çok ihtiyacı var. Derim ki KAGİDER'den her ay Taşra'daki örgütlerine bu kent kültürünü, bu yüksek elit kültürü oraya bir saatlik bir konuşma, yarım saatlik bir konuşmayla oradaki kadınların zihninde bir ateş, bir kıvılcım yaratsınlar ve geri dönsünler.
Peki, çok teşekkür ediyoruz Ahmet Bey'e. Evet. Kısa bir soru alıp toparlayacağız artık. Evet, buyurun. Mikrofon.
Ben arkadaşımıza da teşekkür ediyorum. Çünkü ben de Taşra'dan geldim. Orada kadınlar bizde hayvancılık ve tarımla ilgilenir. Yani en önemli meslekleridir.
Evet.
Ama şöyle bir meslek. Kendileri çalışırlar ama yoğurt, peynir yapımı, her türlü üretim kadına aittir. Ama sonuç olarak ekonomi anlamında kesinlikle hiçbir bağımsızlığı yoktur. Çünkü gelirler erkeğindir. Çalışma, üretim kadın. Fakat gelir paylaşımı tamamen erkeğindir. Arkadaşımızın da söylediği gibi ben yalnız başıma orada mücadele ediyorum. Kadınları örgütlüyorum. Bunun hesabını...
Siz nereden geliyorsunuz?
Bitlis.
Bitlis'ten.
Evet.
kesinlikle bunun böyle devam etmemesi gerektiğini ve her gün biraz daha örgütlenmemizi genişletiyoruz. Ama yalnız başıma yeterli olmuyor.
Evet.
Ben oraya bu başlarken taşra çalışmalarına Bitlis'ten başlarsak nasıl olur diyorum.
Evet.
Ve sizleri davet ediyorum.
Evet. Artık KAGİDER olarak herhalde aslında çok önemli bir konu. Bu tür kadın hakları meseleleri sadece belli entelektüel çevrelerde ve hani sizin şehirli kültürü olarak değerlendirdiğiniz ortamların dışında da konuşulup hayatın içine gerçekten entegre olup işte taşra dediğiniz bölgelere kadar indiği zaman zaten bunları konuşmaya gerek duymadığımız bir dünyayla karşılaşacağız. Dediğiniz gibi o bölgelerde kadın üretiyor ama kadının adı yok. Ve bu konuşmalarda da adı geçmiyor. O yüzden her ikinize de bu anlamda çok teşekkür ediyorum. Ve değerli konuşmacılarımıza da çok teşekkür ediyorum. Çünkü bizi biraz da hani yerel perspektifin dışında meselelere biraz daha global bakma, evrensel boyuttan bakma şansı tanıdılar. İşte Afrika'dan, Mısır'dan, Filipinler'den biraz bu meseleye baktık. Kadın meselesine, kadın girişimcilik meselesine. Ve görünen o ki dünyanın neresine gidersek giderim sorunlarımız aynı. Dolayısıyla buradan çıkarımız eğer biz bu kadın meselesini dünya ölçeğinde halletmezsek bu iş ne Türkiye'de ne Filipinler'de ne Afrika'da hallolmayacak. O yüzden bize düşen bugünün özeti kadınlar olarak dünyanın neresinde olursak olalım güç birliği içinde omuz omuza bu konuda savaşmaya devam etmektir. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz. KAGİDER'e de çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Sizin katılımınız için de çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Ve tekrar sizlere de teşekkür ediyoruz. Sağ olun.
Biz de size çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Bugüne dair küçük bir anımız var, sizlere de vereceğiz elbette. Onu takdim etmek üzere KAGİDER Yönetim Kurulu üyesi Devrim Erol'u sahneye davet etmek istiyorum. Sizleri de ayağa alabilir miyiz? Bu arada küçük bir hatırlatma yapalım. Az önceki konuşmaya ek olarak KAGİDER olarak biz 2 ayda bir Anadolu şehirlerinde, en son Hatay'da yaptık yanılmıyorsam, toplantılar düzenliyoruz. Ulaşabileceğimiz kadar çok kadına da ulaşmaya çalışıyoruz. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz efendim. Çok teşekkürler. Thank you so much. You've been tremendous. Dilinize sağlık, süperdi her şey.